Hi everyone, you should be able to hear me. Welcome back to our Star Trek Adventures campaign, the Shackleton Expanse. We are back on the station. We're back on Narendra Station with this fine motley crew. Hello crew. We'll say hello to them one by one, and then we'll talk about a little competition as per usual. As usual, Anita, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. It's been a week.
Yeah.
It's been a heck of a week. But no, we're getting geared up to do stuff for the next season of Critical Misses. I've been doing a lot of graphic design for secret projects that I can't talk about just yet, and I'm very excited.
We love a secret project. Very nice. Speaking of secret projects, hi Tom. Don't know where that segue was going. How are the secret projects, Tom?
A secret project, maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know. No, not really.
Okay.
No, I haven't got anything like that. No.
How are the public projects?
Public projects are going all right. Yeah. You know, Well, I've just come back from having 2 weeks off, which was glorious.
Lovely.
I don't know why people work. Why don't they just have weeks off all the time?
And you come back into a heat wave.
And I come back into a heat wave, which is good and bad. Good that it's dry, bad that it's boiling hot and you are doing physical work outside. But yeah, it's not too bad. Everything aches. You don't realize that when you do something all the time, your body adapts and stuff and you don't feel it as much. But when you stop for a while and then you go back, everything aches. Just everything. No. It's like, why are you torturing us like this? Why? Every muscle, why? So yeah. So apart from that, yeah, good.
I hope you adapt soon. Like the Borg.
Thank you.
Speaking of the Borg. No. Hi, Susie.
Hi. Honestly, I wish I was the Borg, because then my old rickety body wouldn't be a problem. It would just be a cyber body, and it would be great.
I mean, now with the latest series, Starfleet can get cyber enhanced now as well. So it's not just the Borg living it up.
Can we hurry up and get to the Star Trek future, please?
Yeah, can we work on that? Thanks.
Please. Can we skip the World War III bit, though? We don't need that bit.
Maybe.
Just right to the post-scarcity. We're fine.
Yeah, post-scarcity sort of semi-utopia. Let's get to that. That would be nice.
Yeah. Except for the, drug planets in Picard and stuff.
Yeah.
Just don't talk about those. It's fine.
No.
It's okay.
No.
But I'm glad your computer's all back and sorted as well.
Yeah, my computer's all back. My back is mostly back.
Mostly a back. Good.
Mostly a back. That little spinal disc is slowly going back into place, which is nice.
It's good. It's important.
Don't recommend it. Just as a heads up, don't do it. Don't slip a disc. Can't recommend it. 3 out of 10.
It's not fun.
I don't know why it was 3. It was just an arbitrary number, Tom. Don't call
I was just wondering, what to get a 3? There's got to be at least something that's positive around it, right? Just to get a 3.
I got to lie on the sofa a lot.
Oh, there it is.
I didn't have to lift furniture when I moved into my new place. There you go. That's the secret benefit.
Bonus. Added secret benefit. All right, lovely. Well, I am getting ready for 2 days off to play Starfield. That's going to be fun. Literally, for the first time in my life, I think, booked off time off work to literally play a video game. But I can't wait. I actually got a thing so I could have played from Friday, but I've been busy, so I haven't played it yet, and I don't want to get half an hour in and then be I have to put it down again and forget what's happening and for 3 days. So I haven't touched it. So I'm going to be very, very excited. Ash said to me earlier, what are you going to do tomorrow then? Because she forgot I had days off, and I was like, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to play Starfield. And she was really jealous. So that's what I'm going to do. But with Modiphius, it's been fairly busy. You might have noticed today we put out a little thing that said that our Cohorts Cthulhu Kickstarter is starting on the 3rd of October, so about a month from now. So stay tuned for that. If you want to learn more, head over to like modiphius.net, modiphius.us. You can sign up for the mailing list. That is the quickest way you're going to get news about the Kickstarter and about the game. Hello, Cat. What would you like? Rings? Okay. Hello. And if there is any other news, the Dreams Machines pre-orders go up on Thursday. So have a look out for that as well, because that'll be the core books, that's the Player's Guide and the GM's Guide, as well as all the other core accessories. And a beautiful, beautiful slipcase, collector's edition slipcase of both of those books is absolutely gorgeous. And it may be my work desktop background as well, because it's just such a nice piece of artwork. But I am very, very excited to get back to our main characters after Lower Decks and after what seems to have just been an age of missed sessions and stuff. I'm really, really excited to see what we do. And it's a little character favourite because it's all about the Gift Targ. It's all about the freighter. We're going to be test driving the freighter. So, Tom, this is your log as Harvey. And this is our episode 14. We're rattling along, kids. This is Don't Look a Gift Targ in the Mouth. Whenever you're ready, Tom.
What a title. What a title.
What a title.
Lieutenant Harvey personal log, stardate 48879.2. Since the fleet is exploring deep in the Expanse and the Zambezi is tuned to within an inch of its life, Chief Tien has given the flight crew a little downtime, and it's given me the opportunity to work on my own a little bit of R&D. With the Gift Targ and some of the warp drive technology the Dirk do shared with us, this compensator should be able to ride the gravitational wave of the washboard and not mess with the power regulators or the stability of the warp field. I can't wait to test it and take the Gift Targ out on her first test flight.
Very exciting times. Anyone listening to those logs of Lieutenant Harvey's, it's just gonna have a lovely time. That's like late night podcast. That was beautiful. Thank you for that. You still have a little bit of work to do on the Gift Targ though, my friend, because the sensors still aren't working.
Bloody sensors.
And we've got a little bit more of that extended task to do before she is space worthy. So we need to fix those sensors. This is obviously an engineering task, so we're going to be diving right into the roles today. We've already done 6 out of the 10 work that you need to complete on the extended task. So you're already a good way of the way there. You've completed one of the 2 breakthroughs, so you've only got another breakthrough to complete. And it's going to be difficulty 2. So in terms of your attributes, how would you like to approach the problem?
I like to think that the sensors have been a bit of an annoyance for Harvey. He's tried a few things here and there, and they're just not doing what they need to do. So I think he maybe, like, while he was in Eckers or something, he was drinking and he heard a conversation of like maybe some pilots or some freighter captains, and they were talking about something and about a sensor or switching something, and that made Harvey think, maybe it's a little out of the way. It's a little bit like it's not standard way of doing it, but maybe it's like a particular unrecommended but possible to do kind of sensor change to try and get the sensors up and going.
Alrighty.
So I think maybe daring, because it's a little off the books. It's a little not normally what you could do. Something that could go wrong, and engineering.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah?
That feels like a daring to me.
Yeah.
You're trying something new. I like that.
Trying something new. You gotta try something new. Okay, so
daring and engineering.
I mean, would you allow me focus freighters? Or is
Absolutely. This is a freighter, Tom. The focus perfectly applies. It's not the usual stretch we're going
very
for.
Nice.
This is difficulty 2.
Difficulty 2.
Do you want to add any dice with threat? or spend your determination immediately.
I want to hold on the determination for now because I got a feeling I might need it.
Okay. Yeah.
However, I wouldn't mind buying, if you said 2, maybe like an extra dice.
Yeah, that would just be 1 threat if you wanted an extra die.
Yeah. Let's go for an extra dice. So I'm rolling 3.
Not a problem.
Yeah. No complications, right? Just a normal.
The complication range, no, isn't like extended or anything because you've repaired the rest of the ship, so you're all good with that.
All right. Well,
Whenever
let's give
you're
it a go.
ready.
Well, there we go.
3 successes, banks you guys 1 momentum already. So Tom, I need you to then roll for me some challenge dice. Number of challenge dice is going to be your rank in engineering plus 2.
Okay, that's 7.
So roll me 7 of your combat dice, and 6 completes the work track for you, which means that you've completed the repairs on the Gift Targ. So yeah, sensors have been just an absolute job for you, and it's probably taken kind of, you know, most of the day. You're like in your civvies, com badge by the side, tools splayed out everywhere. But after, you know, a good amount of isolinear chip shifting and good couple of bits of percussive maintenance for good luck, you've managed to get the sensors working. They the consoles brighten up with power and they begin giving you telemetry, and you just test out some of the readings, and you can kind of scan the hangar bay and do some passive sensor sweeps and stuff like that, and you manage to get a little bit more telemetry on all of that. For Burrell and Eka, if you're kind of regarding the scene around the Gift Targ, the tools are everywhere, and like Harvey is just making a bit of a mess of this corner of the hangar bay. The Gift Targ, I think we said, was like tucked away a little bit.
Yeah.
Like behind, around some stuff, like behind some doors maybe, just, you know, and they've just been kind of opened a bit enough to get through. But yeah, some of the Harvey's probably bits and bobs are like spilling out into the actual hangar bay itself as well.
Is it safe to say that Harvey is very into the work at the moment and probably
Like a
doesn't notice?
Targ in muck, absolutely. Yeah.
I think that Eka is just going to walk on the ship without, while Harvey is distracted. How's my ship?
He comes out of the thing he was working on, and Hecka. She's well. I just got the sensors working. I think she's ready to fly.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, she doesn't look the part. The cosmetic and stuff that comes afterwards. That comes for yourself. What you would like to do? You know, fresh coat of paint if you want to, because the outside is still very much like it's not pretty at all. There are panels missing.
Is there like a little view screen, like a little window view screen? You see Burrell like.
Yeah, like real dusty.
Dust, you know, all that. It's not, you got like inside, you've got like maybe like extra wires just kind of just hanging out there, and not every kind of subsystem, you know, behind the wall has got a panel up because it's fallen off. It looks rough, but yeah.
Well, if you think she'll fly, then...
Oh, she'll fly. I mean...
Forgive my apprehension. As Eka leans on something and a panel falls down.
Yes. That's cosmetic. Eka, trust me, she'll fly, and
It's the flying that I'm not necessarily concerned about. It's the continuing to fly and potentially landing.
oh, that's easy. I can do that. I mean, how about this, Eka? How about this? why don't we take it for a test flight? I mean, unless you're
You know what? I've got
busy.
nothing else going on this afternoon.
Really? Brilliant. Bear with me. And he turns and sees Burrell. Hey, Chief. yeah.
You see her like disappear like underneath for a second, and then you hear a thunk and feel like a little wobble, and she pops around to like the door. Landing gear is misaligned. Should be alright now.
Oh, thank you. Good turns to Eka again. Cosmetic. Chief, we're about to just we're about to take the ship out for its first test drive. Do you want to tag along?
Common sense says no, but why not? And if we all die in the cold reaches of space, then it's your fault.
I assure you, we're not going to die. However, let me get one thing. And he heads outside, and he probably goes back into the main hangar bay and comes back with 3 EVA suits. Places them. I mean, doesn't hurt to be precaution. Precaution.
You know what? I'm just realizing that I might be a little overdressed for a test flight, so let me just pop out for 2 minutes and do a quick wardrobe change.
I mean, you
that.
sort. I mean, it's going to take a bit. I'll need to go through with the team saying when we're available to depart, and there's a few checks I need to run over. So there's plenty of time.
And you'll need to sign out those EV seats.
And I need to sign out those EV seats.
And you need to clean up the hangar.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
So reconvene in, say, an hour?
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
Eka, I also wanted to give you an opportunity to, if you wanted, look a bit more into the kind of the Tren Warthog feud that's been going on between the two. These like Klingon houses, or
I would love to.
Any other little bits of kind of business that you want to cover? Any kind of self-directed stuff?
There's a few things that are on Eka's radar at the moment. One of them is the new employee. I want to make sure that that she's adjusting well and isn't going to run back to a certain ex of Eka's.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to check in on the, of course, the feud.
Yeah, absolutely.
See if I've heard anything.
Yeah. Seema, so we've got Seema is your new employee.
Mm-hmm.
Jagadish is obviously, I think, still on the station.
Yeah, Jagadish is currently working in one of Eka's back rooms, I think, probably.
Yeah. Okay. And is it Seema that you wanted to look into?
Yes, I was hoping that I could use my well-informed talent. I'm going to give you some threat to ask questions about the situation.
Absolutely. Fire away.
I know Seema has been trying to find a way to get off the station. Is she trying to make contact with Ellerule, or is she just trying to get away?
She hasn't made any attempts to get in contact with Ellerule.
Okay. I also know that I had to Doc follow her around just to sort of keep tabs, and I think that might still be a running trend. Just keep Doc just to sort of keep an inconspicuous eye.
Yeah, no problem. Were there any other questions that you could ask with that talent?
It says, start of the scene, you may add one threat to ask Game Master 2 questions about a situation or a location.
One threat for 2 questions is a good deal.
Mm-hmm. As if I had spent momentum on an obtain information.
Yeah.
So it's mostly about news and rumors kind of deal. The other question that I want to ask is, I know things have been possibly a little quiet about the with the blood feud, with the Tren blood feud at the moment. Are there any rumblings that something else is about to kick off fairly soon? Because usually when it's quiet, it means something's about to happen.
There are more rumblings, but it's not necessarily about the feud itself. The feud itself has quietened down, but as a certain intelligence officer ensign's report has, you may have seen a little half a paragraph of or so, it's graced the desk of the senior staff. Station has a little bit of a Therogen problem.
Yeah.
And it seems that some of the slightly more dishonorable members of the Imperial fleet that are stationed out here at Narendra Station may be involved in some way. And it's kind of it hasn't really come up, but and it is in the campaign book, and I kind of like it as a framing of kind of what's happening around with the Klingon fleet and stuff. Is that the kind of crews and the ships that are coming here with the Imperial fleet, for a lot of them, this is like a backwater stationing. Like, this is.
It's not their first choice for posts.
This is where you put the incompetent warriors.
All right.
And so, you've got a mix, or arguably they're the same people, of House Ortarg and the kind of contributions that they make, their own fleet, that the ambassador has, undoubtedly got her claws into, and all the crappy, stupid Klingon crews who are not great at fighting, are not great at raiding, but they've got a bird of prey and a dream.
Not the best and brightest of the KDF. Gotcha.
No.
The other thing that I think that Eka had on the go was Jagadish was going to try and get a hold of that pad that had the thumbprint on it. Mm-hmm. If I'm remembering correctly.
Absolutely.
Because that was proof to help pin.
Absolutely. Yeah.
At least someone in Ortog's house to.
Yeah. So you are involved. I want to say you're involved with this because I want to get you to roll.
Absolutely.
With the kind of making the right connections, getting the right kind of information gathering and stuff like that. And this is going to work towards the extended task I've got set up for the House of Tren feud that you're looking into. Mm-hmm. So with this, you've done 10 out of the 15 of the points on the work track, so you've only got 5 left to do.
Okay.
If you score 5 or if you complete it, then you have actually found out all the steps, as it's got a magnitude of 3.
Okay.
That's what it should be.
Would this be a reason and security test to try?
I will absolutely take that. Yeah, that sounds really cool. The difficulty is going to be 3. So, and the resistance is going to be 1. So whatever you roll with the challenge dice is going to be reduced by 1 at the moment.
Okay.
I think, yeah.
And we have a point of momentum.
You have a
in
point of
pool?
momentum, just the 1, yeah.
Would I be able to spend that for an additional die, folks?
Yeah, no problem.
All right. I would love to do that. And would any of my focuses, like black market dealings, apply, or persuasion?
Absolutely. Either of those apply. The black market dealings is great as well.
All right, sounds good.
As you're kind of tracing the Therogen problem to, using it essentially to get a little bit more information about this, I think. It's really good.
Sounds good.
3 successes is what you need. Absolutely. So roll me your. It was security you rolled, wasn't it? Yeah. Roll me. Roll me your 6 challenge dice with that.
All right. That would just be.
You know, with those effects, I'm going to give you them as 2s. So 2, 4, 5. Oh, I wonder. Which is, with the resistance, is just shy of that progress that you need.
Can't you use the effects to reduce the resistance, or is that something else that I'm thinking of? A different rule I'm thinking of?
Kinda is, kind of a bit different. It really depends on the extended task itself and stuff. But you know what? We're so close. If you want, what I'm willing, again, like, let's always push those red buttons, right? There's a little bit of a cost here about, like, what this information kind of costs.
Okay.
That might, you know, is probably going to come up, like later in the sessions and stuff.
Okay.
So,
I also have a little bit of capital that I could potentially. Would I be able to potentially use a little bit of that?
yeah, let's do it. Yeah, absolutely. How much have you
like
got?
grease some palms?
Yeah, how much have you got?
I've got 3 currently.
Oh my god. Let's spend 1 and just gets you over that little extra hurdle. As you need to just spend out that little bit more on, like, you're effectively funding a little bit of the Therogen problem by, like, doing this, you know?
I mean, it was actually something that I was asked to do, so
Well done. Okay. Jagadish, finally, as you've just got changed, as you're just about to head back to the hangar bay, finally finds you, and slips the pad just, like, into your palm as he walks next to you, and he says, "That's a very interesting thumbprint."
So it is.
You have, like, the thumbprint on the transaction, and the label says Ambassador Yang.
Oh.
So Ambassador Yang is the person who wants Burrell killed. So this indicates that she ordered the toxin to be used. It's her transaction. It's her buying the toxin and buying the service. And she was using the ceremony of shaking hands with that little bit of blood in the palm when first negotiating with Oshron to target Burrell.
Specifically. So at the very least, we've got her on attempted murder.
Because I'll remind you as well, that toxin from that fern was genetically augmented to Burrell's DNA. Wouldn't have affected anybody else, even if it entered their bloodstream.
Oof. All right.
I will, even though you haven't got any momentum, I will allow you to spend some more threat if you have any questions you want to ask, any, like, follow-up questions.
We're already sitting at 10 threat, folks. How we feeling? We're about to go on a test flight with 10 threat.
YOLO.
YOLO?
What can go wrong?
All right. I'll spend a point of threat to ask a question.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay, so here's the thing. I can spend a threat to ask a question, or can I spend 2 threat to get an advantage, or is that only a momentum spend?
That is only momentum spend. And
Okay.
yeah, like, I'm being generous with the threat thing.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
It's questions I'm more interested in you asking than establishing a trait.
I'd like to. Can I open this up to the floor?
Absolutely,
of my compatriots?
especially to Susie.
Do you all have any, especially Susie? Do you have any good and pointed questions?
I have a question for Sam. Why? You've come for me before in an RPG, but never
You
biologically
set
engineered
them up, and I just.
I mean,
God damn.
this also, if I remember correctly, this not to be victim blaming, but you did this to yourself with your backstory.
Yeah, of course. Actually,
It's what
the
we
random
do.
table did this to me.
Oh.
Okay,
Bless.
okay. So we have her thumbprint. We know she ordered the toxin.
Mhm.
This might seem weird. Because it's such a specific thing with the genetic DNA, like this thing was designed to get Burrell. Would you have like any idea on because I imagine you need some serious equipment and some specialty to do that. Are there any notable doctors, scientists? This is just a question. Don't have to answer it, Sam, because we're not saying this is the question, okay? But I'm just putting it out there. Basically, where would she have gotten this genetic thing modified? Because if you can find that, you've got additional evidence if they can squeal too.
You guys already have that information. That is
We do?
It's
Jagdish,
Jagdish.
who supplied the pad to Ekka.
Ignore
just
The
me
now.
then.
Orions, right?
Ignore me then.
Yeah. He is an Orion, and his background as well is that he's been working on a therapy to be able to be resistant to the Orion's pheromones as well. Mm-hmm. He's kind of trying to break free of that thing, and that's quite a threatening thing, really, for the Orion and how they're set up.
I don't remember. Was he doing it as like a free agent, or was he doing it for Ella Rule? I can't remember. Do we know?
So-
He was doing it as a free agent.
Free-
Okay.
Yeah.
The therapy to try and remove the Orion female's pheromonal control, I think was his pet project.
That's his own private project, yeah. And
But
he got
the,
captured.
uh,
He
but-
got essentially
but
captured.
the toxin was so that he could get access. The toxin was so that he could get access and funding for his pet project, if I remember correctly, or if I've put these pieces together correctly.
I'll take that. That sounds great, motivation-wise. Yeah.
Okay. So is there anyone else in on this conspiracy? Anyone else that?
Good question.
Is that your question?
I don't know. Gang,
Yes.
how do we feel?
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that being the question. Is there anyone else in on this conspiracy?
She is working with someone, yes.
How deep does this go?
That is all I will give you right now.
Okay.
She is working with someone, yes.
I only killed one person. Oh God.
It's
Who
not
else
enough.
hates you?
It's not
Who
how
else?
many you kill, it's who you
Who else
kill.
is being targeted? Ooh. Is there anyone else? That's fine. That's a.
That
our
was also an
questions.
extremely good question. Who else?
Like, is there anyone else being targeted by this? Okay. For
Rel
next
has
time.
a lot
For
of
next time.
brothers. Anyway, lovely little pleasure cruise on the new barge. Let's not think about
Yeah.
this murder that's coming, shall we?
Yeah. Harvey, you've installed your washboard compensator with your little talent, right?
Yes, I have.
So let's remind ourselves
to
as
the,
well, and mainly remind myself
debut.
about these spatial anomalies. So the washboard is something that affects the entire expanse. It's strange gravitational distortions that ripple space-time and can be a danger to vessels traveling at warp speeds. It's known as the washboard, just because it's kind of how it metaphorically kind of works and feels. So the washboard itself is a trait. Depending on how far in you go, it has a severity. And that represents the number of extra power points on your vessel that must be spent in order to go to warp, to like keep that warp field stable and all that kind of stuff. If a vessel's got the improved warp drive talent, you can roll that one challenge dice as normal to potentially get that power back. But essentially, in terms of your test flight, what you're going to be trying to do primarily is go to warp speeds, test the compensator to see if it works, and to see if you get that power back. So I think actually, based off of that just there, that is how I think I'll treat the washboard Compensator. It's a bit like that talent where
Improved warp engines.
yeah,
or
where you
whatever it
basically
was,
you can
yeah.
like roll a challenge. Oh, not quite. Well, not typically you roll a challenge dice, and I think if you get an effect, you get that power point back. But this is a test flight. First of all, we want to see if you can kind of successfully get it to work. So you can easily, and you do, take the ship out of the docking bay area. How bumpy is it, honestly, do you think, Harvey? Heading out of the hangar bay.
Coming out of that, so Harvey's a fairly decent pilot. He's shown that he's pretty good, and I think it's fairly smooth. I think the thing that it looks terrible, but I think the overall thing, because a lot of the systems in here are quite new because he's inputted them himself. So I think like the dampeners and everything that makes a steady flight quite decent. I mean, it'll need some adjustment because obviously that's the test flight. It needs some adjustments and stuff like that. I think it's probably decent. Right? The odd bump here and there getting out of the hangar bay. But a lot more comfortable than you would expect if you were looking at it.
I'm just trying to imagine what the vanity shot looks like as it like comes out of the hangar bay and like rolls around.
It's like a rust bucket.
Yeah. Rust all over it. Scorch marks over the hull. Yeah.
Like different parts of different ships were like bolted on, just to, like because that's all he had at the time.
It's like built of Lego.
Like, yeah.
You see those cars that have clearly been through it and they've got like a red door, but the car's like green.
Yeah.
Yes. Very much so.
So the Gift Targ roll lists off to the left and out of one of the hangar bay doors, and after a few moments on impulse power, with the planet just hovering in space in the distance, that kind of green pearlescence, the station nowhere to be seen now that you've cleared it at such a speed, now you're ready to go to warp. So,
okay,
you've got space for a co-pilot if someone wants to assist with this. So first of all, so you could just go straight to warp and just test the warp things, but if someone wants to plot a course, then that warp test is gonna its difficulty is gonna be reduced by 1.
What's in the local vicinity? What's maybe like something with like a this isn't to test this is just a normal warp.
Yeah.
This isn't testing the compensator just yet. I want to just make sure that the engine's going first. So I think this will be a nice little warp to maybe like, just the nearest kind of like stellar object. Whether it's a planet, a moon, whatever it is.
Yeah. Warping to the, next, explored system.
Yeah, just the next system over or something. Yeah.
We do know of a few, actually. Let's have a little look here.
Let's go to the prohibited system.
Yeah.
No.
You can go to Epsilon 19 station.
Cool. Let's go to Epsilon 19.
Yeah, that's in the Osarian system and is located in the kind of southwestern edge of the Shackleton Expanse. So you're heading a bit further towards the Federation itself, actually.
That seems about right. Smart.
Its star is in a state of decay and has been recorded releasing strange triolic waves. But Starfleet's established a small research station there, Epsilon 19, to record the emissions and monitor the health of the star. So that's what they're up to. So you can head off to Epsilon Station.
I shall do that.
Who is plotting the course?
I'll hop in the co-pilot seat.
Who fancies it? Lovely. So this is a reason and con test. Assisted, Anita, by your ship's computers and con. Let me show you your ship. There you go.
Have a look at this beauty.
Lovely.
The Gift
Have a
Targ.
look at this beauty.
So yeah, engines and con.
Oh, it looks like the Gift Targ is not set up as a ship, but instead a
person.
It's a person.
If you click on the cog and then go to Starship Registry entry.
There we go.
And then close
I don't
that.
even see
You should
it.
get the ship.
Perfect.
You don't see it,
Our
Susie?
departments.
Nope.
Well,
I
we'll
don't
just
see
have
it
to
in my
get
list either.
Anita to assist. I think I only gave it to him and to Tom.
See how it is.
I
You
don't
don't
even
need to
know.
know.
Killed me off
I
already.
don't
I
need
mean,
to
I've
know.
got the gift targ, the thing that came up, but I clicked the cog and it just goes sheet settings.
Okay.
I just changed it.
Oh, there it is.
oh,
I got
there
it.
we
I
All
got
go.
it.
players. Show
There
to
it is,
players.
thank you.
Bam.
Hey.
Can we all see it?
There we go. Yes.
see it.
Yes.
Fix it in post. Congrats.
Fix it.
All right, Anita, this is
Did it live.
engines and con. That's
Okay.
what Susie's going to be assisted by. And this is difficulty
Right.
3. Susie, do you want to add any dice? Or
I got 2.
spend any
I'm
determination?
relying.
Oh, good
Tom,
lord. Why did I go back?
You better
Right.
fix the ship.
I fixed the ship.
I did
it's
my part.
fine.
If it doesn't
All right,
work,
let's
it's the
hope
ship's
that she
fault.
rolls low because it's a 7 or lower on this.
Oh god.
She's fine.
That's
Is she? Is she fine? Tom.
well. Okay, here's the deal. I think there's a glitch in this
There is a
because
glitch because that's a 3 and a 1, right?
Yeah, so
yeah,
that she's
and I
got
only
2
set it
successes.
for-
And
I
one
only set it
double
for one.
that's a crit.
Okay.
It critted.
You only set it
Oh,
for
you
one task.
I only
dice?
set it for one task roll. Yeah.
That's super weird. I don't know why it's doing that. Might have to have a little look at it again. Figure that out. But Susie, sorry, my browser, I clicked on a stupid bookmark. I had to go back. What was your result?
I got
Susie?
2 successes.
Oh, lovely. So, with that other 1 success, rolling a 3, that's the 3 successes you need to chart the course. You have charted a lovely course, skirting any washboard eddies that are out there and all that kind of stuff. Beep, boop, beep, 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 beep. And Harvey, you are prepared to go to warp.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I go to war.
You go to warp. Okay, this is going to be a test. Hang on 1 second. Boop. That's the adventure. There we go. So, this is difficulty 0 if the plot of the course is successful. So you can roll for it if you want, or you can just take the success and go and not generate any more momentum or anything like that.
I mean, don't we want momentum? We want momentum.
We
So
want
I'll
some good
roll.
times too. Let's
We want
roll.
some- yeah.
So this is control plus con for you with
Okay.
difficulty of 0. And Anita, it's going to be again assisted by the ship's engines and con.
I want the gift tag. Don't let me down.
Okay.
Okay. Oh,
3 successes from you there. You rolled a 1
that's-
on that second die, Tom.
yeah. I promise you, I never originally initiated Harvey to be a good pilot. He just kind of
Just
went
got there.
into it. So now I'm running with it.
Yeah.
And that's 1 success from the ship with a 7. It's exactly what
Yeah,
it
so
needed.
we got 4 momentum from that. And the ship goes to warp beautifully. Absolutely. Heads to warp 1. I need you to drop the power on the ship by 2 for that, for going to warp, and for the washboard effect, because we're on washboard 1 at the moment.
Oh, what's the max power?
Max power 7. And then if
Oh,
you
and now
change
it's-
the current to 5,
5. Okay.
that's
Cool.
what you got.
Cool.
I don't know if it's updating for anyone else.
I mean,
I'll just change that.
It is, yeah.
That's at 5. Alrighty. Brilliant. Okay. So, having reached Epsilon Station, warping into the system and go back into Impulse. Did you want to try the compensator?
So it's running smoothly. The warp drive is going well. Warp 1. Do we know the max speed of this thing? Do I know that? What can it go up to? I mean, it's a freighter, so...
So I have it's a bit of an unwritten rule in STA. I don't have it because it's kind of a house rule. I typically have ships spend the number of power points that they're going to, which warp factor they're going to.
Oh, okay.
So if you had
Fair enough.
all of your power back to maximum, and that is something you can do with your engineering as a skill. You can literally just like divert power, but it's just like rolling to recover power points.
Yeah.
If you've got, I would say, if you've got 7 power, I would say you can go to warp 7. Like max.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes
these
sense.
Are these
because
are
obviously
freighters
everything's
too.
going to the engines.
Yeah, they're not going to go to like warp 8, warp 9. Yeah. And the thing is with these power points as well, really, in terms of the rules, is that it's not like excess power, but also 0 power doesn't mean that you don't have any life support anymore. Like 0 power is just you can't like make the really like draining things happen, like firing phasers, going to warp, or that kind of thing. But you can maintain basic ship systems, life support, etc.
So Harvey's going to do a sensor scan for a washboard anomaly. He hasn't told anyone else that this is going to be part of the test.
Okay.
Essentially, they think it's just a normal flight, but Harvey wants to test out, see if this compensator will work. So he'll locate like the nearest, not, a little anomaly or, something that wouldn't disrupt it. Like a worst case scenario, then the warp engine's cut out and you don't have power. He just wants to test. He wants to test it out. He wants to ride the waves, I suppose.
Okay, so this is gonna be a sensor sweep. So for you, this is gonna be reason and sciences. Anita, this is gonna be assisted by the ship's sensors and sciences.
Hey.
And this is normally it's difficulty of 0, but if there's any kind of unusual phenomena or anything like that might increase the difficulty, it might be altered like that. You're looking for a very specific thing that is quite prevalent here in the Expanse, but you've got to catch the right moment, catch the right kind of, washboard eddy. So if you roll me difficulty 2 test. So with that 4 momentum, did you want to add any extra dice?
No. I rolled and I got a success.
Okay, no problem.
And we're just waiting for the ship.
Nothing from the ship, unfortunately.
From the ship.
Well, that's okay. That's what I just wanted. That's fine.
There are some background distortions, but you can't pick up on a specific fluctuation in space. In like the space time that you would want to ride, essentially.
Okay.
But the washboard effect is, in effect, if you went to warp, you'd still be having to spend more power to compensate to maintain the proper warp bubble. So if you went to warp with the compensator on the go,
I think I'll do that. Yeah.
Then you'll still catch one,
and we'll see how long we can go. It'll just be kind of like a stress test. It'll just keep going and going and going.
All right. So this is going to be there's going to be a few rolls, I think, and some as we do course corrections, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so again, does somebody want to plot a course? Susie, you want to give that another go? Yep. Reason and con again, and then Anita, this is computers and con again, with a difficulty of 3 overall.
Reason and con.
If you want to add any dice, let me know, because we've got some momentum there as well.
Let's make it as easy as we can. I'll buy a die.
Cool. Okay, so actually
we'll make it Tom's job simpler.
Sorry for stream, but it was 4 down to 3 now.
This is what you get for not telling me what you're doing.
Look, you're just plotting courses.
How can I do my job efficiently if you don't tell me what it is?
You're in the Expanse. Everything's the washboard.
So that I'm going to use that complication to make this next test that little bit more difficult. So I think this is absolutely right. I think this is you've been plotting a course for something for a standard warp thing, and Harvey has just been warp 5, let's go, or something, right? So he's just doing something else.
Let's go.
So Tom, I need you to roll for me that control plus con, and it's going to be difficulty 2. And Anita, this is going to be supported by engines and con.
Any additional complications, or are you just gonna?
The complication range is going to increase to 3.
3. Oof.
18, 19, or 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You can do this. This is fine. This is easy.
Because you're not getting the support from your co-pilot that you desperately needed.
And you're getting nothing from the ship either.
And the ship's just along for the ride.
Come on. In that case, then, I think I'm probably going to want some momentum. So I'll buy a die.
You'll buy a die. Okay. So I'm
Yeah,
going to add 2 there.
Did you just stop bickering?
We're just like slap fighting over the controls.
Yeah.
Good job, Tom.
But Harvey managed to do it. He managed to go to warp, keep you on course.
I know my ship.
And let's put that power down to 4, as the compensator seems to do a fairly good job of like supporting the warp bubble. You're not having to recalibrate and to like spend more power in order to go to a higher warp factor.
Okay. And I like to think it was a bit smoother. So normally when you feel a washboard, it's a bit of a shake. It's like a pretty thing. I like to think it was just like a tiny turbulence, like a kind of thing. Cause
Yeah.
Kind of thing, you know, like, okay, that wasn't too bad. The compensator's holding out.
The panels haven't fallen off yet.
Yeah,
No?
and next time, if you're going to just jump to warp 5, tell me. And I can plot an appropriate course.
It's a test. It's supposed to be like sudden things, you see.
Well,
Okay.
I for one appreciate that this shakedown is not shaky.
There we go.
So the stars are streaming as they do at warp outside of the ship through the viewport, and it's a pretty smooth ride. And you talk, and then the GM spends a few threat.
Yeah.
I feel like there's the butt.
There is.
Knew it was coming.
There it is.
There it is. And you can see that, you know, that little flare, the little warp flare, you start to see that kind of flicker in front of you, in front of your like warp bubble. But you're not dropping out of warp, you are flickering. The ship itself begins to kind of rock and shake slightly. You're not having to go like left or right, but you can feel the vibrations of the ship start to shake as the warp bubble seems to destable slightly. We all rock our cameras. As the ship gets hit seemingly and thrown, and there are sparks, rocks from the panels, typical of any kind of stuff, any kind of starship. That panel comes flying off again, Eckert, towards you, and you are plunged out from your seats and into darkness. For a second, you are in seemingly the pitch black until those emergency lights come back on. Panels are flickering and the engines seem dead. Harvey, you don't have that innate feeling of like being, or any of you don't have that innate feeling of like being at warp.
Rahel picks herself up off the ground, sits back in the seat. Oh yeah, no, it's fine. This is just a test. Yeah, this is great.
At least the emergency lighting works.
Maybe I spoke too soon.
This is fine. I can fix it. This is fine. Look, I'll just diagnose the warp engines and I'll fix it and we can get back and it'll be all good. So, I'm gonna go do that. And he's gonna.
Do you need a hand?
I mean, yeah, possibly. I'm just. Do you have any? Actually, I don't know, Eka. Have you had any experience with engineering? I don't think I asked. So rude.
Not on starships, but I'm pretty good at figuring things out if I need to. I'm a quick learner.
I mean, I'm not going to say no for any help.
All right.
You
I'm good at
need me
reverse
ground
engineering
systems?
things, specifically.
Yeah. Okay, folks, this is going to be an engineering test. Typically
Okay.
insight, reason, control.
Do
Harvey, you're leading this
reason.
one.
Yep.
The two of you who are supporting will be rolling 1d20 with your own stat lines there. You're looking at the engine specifically at the moment?
Yeah, I want to know why we dropped out of warp. So, well, firstly, I'll do a damage report.
Damage
to see
report?
if there's any,
Yeah?
like,
Absolutely.
the system's telling me that
Yeah, no problem.
anything out of
Okay.
control.
So yeah, however you folks want to approach it, reason, insight, control, with engineering.
Cool.
I'm pretty good at insight, so I'm going to go with that angle.
Just gonna pass out those little wrist torches.
Yeah.
I love those wrist torches.
Oh yeah, they're so cool, aren't they?
Eka, that's 2 successes from your assist.
Eka should have been
Yes.
an engineer.
If reverse engineering applies, if not, it was a 2 on the die.
All right, let's make that a 1 then. 1 success.
Okay. 1 success from Eka.
Tom, you've got 2
Got 2.
there. And Susie.
Give me a sec.
problem.
Oop. 1 success.
Another 1, so we're a total of 4 successes. So I'm going to give you another 2 momentum, as the 2 successes give you a good idea of what has happened. The engines themselves are damaged. And so at the end of that task that you guys have done, the power is draining out of the ship. So now you have 3 power out of 7.
Did we hit something? What happened?
Can I look over the sensor logs to see if it was the washboard that caused it, or whether it was an internal issue with the engine? So, like the engine, something internally, or was it an external washboard effect? Because if it did, the compensator didn't adjust for that.
Absolutely. You turn just in your chair, go to the sensor panel, try and operate the sensors. Sensors are completely disabled.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to try and get the sensors back online so we can figure out the extent of the damage. So
Okay.
I'm going to concentrate on the sensor systems first.
Alrighty. As you have worked on that, first of all, I've got to roll some dice.
Uh-oh.
So, Harvey, you are going to take 4 stress.
Okay.
Burrell, you are going to take 2 stress.
Oh.
Eka, you are going to take 2 stress.
Okay.
And the ship, with its shields down,
Oh no.
is going to suffer
Explode.
2 breaches to the structure.
Oh, okay. Slight.
As the
Kind
ship
of.
creaks under the pressure of something.
If there's a breach, priorities have changed. And gonna
That's
go
2.
for the-
Yeah.
Yeah,
So the damage
we're gonna
report,
see that.
like there, the ship creaks. There is a low red alert, kind of like a low alarm kicks off in the cockpit, and those the breaches means that the structure is damaged right now. All tasks to repair breach effects suffer complications of an 18 to 20.
Okay.
Oh, actually, hold up. Sorry, the ship has a resistance, which is 3. So actually, it suffers from 2 stress and only 1 breach of the structure.
Oh, okay, that's better.
So
Still a breach.
it's had an impact. Roll 1 challenge dice. If it's an effect, a random character on the ship suffers a fatal injury.
No, thank you. You can put that one back.
Gonna get myself a new symbiote, everybody.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Okay.
So the structure creaks under the pressure of something. Maybe something external, maybe just a force, maybe it's something physical. It didn't feel like an impact. It just feels like a crunching of the hull under some pressure. And yeah. Because the ship is going to suffer breaches every time it takes stress if you don't raise the shields. If you do raise the shields,
yeah, I think my first thing is going to raise the damn shields. Yeah,
that's fine. So you can just raise the shields. Up they go.
okay. So, okay, so I like to think that we're all talking and then there's silence. It's like, and then one hand, Harvey goes, raise shields.
Yep. And yeah, the shields go up.
Okay, that's good. At least we got power to the shield. When you say a breach, do you mean a whole breach or does it just mean damage? As in, is there a whole breach at this particular...
You check the damage report, automated damage report of the computer, and there are very minor hull breaches.
Okay.
On this thing probably has maybe a couple of decks. And it has a cargo
it's a
bay.
freighter.
It's a freighter, right? So it has a few decks on like on the lower decks. It has a very minor hull breaches that are being contained, basically.
Okay. Right. Okay. I'm gonna go down and fix the breaches. Eka and Burrell, if you want to try and get the sensors online, we can get a bigger picture of what went potentially wrong, or if there's something outside that's trying to, if there's an external influence, you know, and it's not internal. I'm just gonna, and he picks up the tool ready, you know, like, I don't know what it is, some sci-fi tool that you need to fix hull breaches. I'm gonna do that and I will be right back.
By turn, Burrell goes, "Hey," and then she throws the EV suit helmet at you. Take that.
Right, will do. And he picks up an EV suit and heads off and starts putting it on.
All right. So Harvey, you're sorting out the hull breaches. Burrell, what were you looking into?
Sensors. Fixing the sensors.
Eka, were you looking into anything separately?
Eka is actually, if the sensors went down, Eka is actually going to look at the sensor logs from prior to, or from just before they went down, to see if there's a root cause to their problem, if the sensors picked something up.
Okay, yeah. So
sensors are down, but they were working prior to that, so maybe it picked
yeah.
something up that could tell us what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you can roll for me, reason and sciences, or reason and engineering.
Reason and engineering is it's a better for Eka.
And this will be supported by the ship's computers and engineering. Did you want to... It's going to be difficulty 1. Do you want to add any die?
I mean, do you want me to roll for the ship to help you out? Yeah?
Sure. It's computers and engineering for the sensors?
Computers and engineering. Just one dice, yeah?
Just the one die.
That's a crit, though.
That's a crit.
All right, I'm just gonna take
liking
the
me
two,
tonight. I'll give it that.
the 2 dice for reason engineering.
It's doing some work for you.
It really is.
That's 2 successes from Eka, though.
Beautiful. So giving you 3 momentum. That maxes out your momentum bank at 6. Okay. Let's do this in the form of questions again, so that I know that kind of what you're looking for. There was essentially an anomaly that the ship has slipped into. But as soon as it did, the sensors went dead.
Okay. So we slipped into an anomaly. Was the ship able to identify the type of anomaly?
It was subspace related. Because with warp, you slip into subspace, don't you? That's the Star Trek thing.
There's like a subspace eddy or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something interacted with subspace.
Okay. That's one question. So I get How many questions did you say that again? Just the one?
So
or?
I just, I could give you a little bit of information, but I wanted to kind of get really what you were looking for as
Okay.
as the result of that test. So now,
Yeah.
if you wanted to spend some momentum to ask a question, you
For
can.
actual questions.
Yeah.
Okay. So some sort of subspace anomaly has we've been pulled into some sort of subspace anomaly. I just look at Barella like looks like we've been pulled into some kind of subspace anomaly according to the sensor logs before they went down.
Burrell isn't super up on spatial anomalies. You know, she's good at punching and telling people what to do. So she looks at Eka and she says, is there some sort of anomaly that would just straight away knock out our sensors, kill our engines, and start punching holes in the ship?
Well, I'm not a physicist. That was Tava.
Can you tap into Tavo?
I can try. Would I be able to tap into Tava for that physics focus?
Yeah. No, absolutely.
With my joined trill.
If you want to roll me reason and sciences with a focus applied.
With a focus applying?
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's
some
2 successes.
Great rolls today. So the difficulty was 2, and that's
3 successes.
Yeah, 3 successes. So let's spend the momentum that you would not be able to save from that roll with a question after my statement.
Yes.
But I'll give you the result. So this has not behaved like anything that is on record. And certainly wasn't like anything that was on record when Tava was doing their physics thing.
There's nothing to my recollection that could cause this as some sort of subspace fold or shearing, possibly. Nothing on record, at least.
So it's nothing on record, nothing you've ever heard of. I might be being paranoid here. Is this something that was engineered? Have we been sabotaged?
You guys can still ask me a question. So if that is your question, then it's something that Tava can kind of like, you can tap into and you can put together from what you've seen. And not to speak through your voice for a second, but I think I've got to think like the line is like, it came from within the ship. It's something to do with the compensator.
The only thing that's different from any other ship experiencing the washboard effect is the compensator.
Right.
Something to do with the compensator pulled us into this subspace pocket.
That's all Harvey's doing. I hadn't touched that bit of the ship. Harvey?
Is the compensator still active?
It's part of the engines, so it's been damaged, but it is not disabled, no.
Okay. Go ahead, Burrell. Sorry.
Burrell to Harvey.
Wait, I got my communicator noise now.
Oh.
Have you got it?
Yeah!
Yeah, go ahead.
It's your compensator.
What?
It's the compensator.
That's why we went out of warp?
Feel free to hop in any time, Eka. You know more about this than I.
I tap. I think Eka's been given a little temporary comm badge.
Yeah.
Can I just, because that'll give you one more big clue about kind of what's been going on if I do this. Sorry to impose, but so like, if you don't like have a badge necessarily, you could talk through Burrell's, but say you go to like, there's like a comm thing in like old school, like on the wall, you push a button and you press through to the comms. You tap the console to start the comms. Comms are down as well. Comms are disabled.
Where did I get the compensator from? Was it because I remember I was talking to the Derg dude? I invented it, didn't I?
No, sorry, you didn't invent it, but you prototyped it to fit into your freighter. but
the
it was
information
based
the
on
Dirk do-
technology that the
Yeah.
Dirk to you shared with you, because they were a civilization that, if I remember from the kind of the opening log and stuff, like they were quite well navigated and like had compensators for their own ships.
They built so that they could warp. That's
Yeah.
they've only ever warped within the Expanse, haven't they? So that's okay.
So it's kind of, I imagine it would be part of their technology, part of their warp technology. So you have kind of, reverse engineered, prototyped a compensator to do this.
If I'm thinking about this correctly, I'm gonna sort of lean over into Burrell's comm, realizing that the comms on the ship don't work. If my couple 100-year-old physics knowledge is correct, the only thing that's different about the ship entering warp or remaining at warp was the compensator that would smooth out the washboard effect. The washboard, from what I understand, is like a sort of subspace eddy.
Yeah.
And something about it has pulled us into some kind of subspace rift. And I realized the comms aren't working. Subspace signals travel, communication signals travel over subspace.
Right. Okay. Right. Well, I'll fix up the breaches down here and take a look at the compensator.
The compensator's still active. It's undamaged, but I don't know if it pulled us in here. I don't know if it's keeping us stable currently, so I wouldn't necessarily turn it off on risk of wherever we are collapsing in on itself.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll finish up down here. If you want to have a look at the compensator and the engines and get maybe a clearer picture, I'll be up there and we can figure it out.
I'll have a look.
Okay.
You said you reverse engineered this off of existing technology?
Yeah. I talked to the Dirk quite a bit and took their information and kind of came up with this thing myself, kind of reverse engineered it. This was the prototype. This is the first attempt.
Might be the last. All right.
I wasn't about to say it, but you did.
Okay. Harvey out.
Okay, Harvey, you are heading down to deal with the minor hull breaches.
Yes.
So I think we're gonna need this to be a control and engineering task.
Okay. Yep.
I think the difficulty is gonna be 1.
Difficulty 1. Okay. I'm gonna use some momentum.
Just to start
Why not?
matching. Oh. Yeah. How much do you want to spend?
I'll spend 1.
Okay.
Let's go. Oh, for goodness.
It's one of your,
I don't know.
That's two.
what-
That's two proper
I
hard
don't
crits
know
and a 1.
who in Roll20 loves me
You guys are absolutely thrashing this
But-
adventure, and I genuinely love it because it's secretly a really good one. You thought you were just going to go a little joyride.
I know, man.
All I wanted was a
joyride.
All right, so you expertly managed to patch up those panels, reinforce the hull a little bit more, and you managed to get full hull integrity back up and running 100%. Burrell, you can see that little number, even with a couple of decimal places, start to just tick up and jump up to 100% once Harvey is done with his work. Then Harvey, out of the corner of your eye, you see, I suppose I have to spend some threat for this. Sure. I'm going to spend a threat. Down to 7. You start to see initially what you think might be some smoke maybe that's come out from one of the systems that are damaged, or maybe the APS conduits or something like that. There's a kind of a black smoke that's been hanging around in the hangar bay a little bit. But then it starts to kind of coalesce, and for a second you think there might even be a hint of a transporter sparkle, but it's taking far longer to actually kind of do anything than a transporter pattern normally would. But this smoke begins to coalesce.
Tricorder out. I'm gonna scan the thing.
As you do, you look down at your tricorder just to try and get some readings. As you look back up, stood before you is a Starfleet officer. An Andorian male, pale blue, with that kind of old white bowl cut that the Andorians used to wear.
Yeah.
And he's wearing a roughed up, like torn and tattered in a couple of places, bright red tunic with a kind of black collar that just forms into a V, just the bottom there. Black trousers, and these boots underneath. And he looks at you, and he comes rushing up to you. And he says, I finally got to you. I've been trying for weeks. I've been here forever. And then you shut up before me. And then this has been weeks. I don't know, days, maybe minutes. I don't know. I've been trying for a very long time. I'm finally through. Oh my god. Okay. This place has 3 dimensions. That's good. Okay.
Hello.
Sorry. Hi. Yes. You. Yes. Probably from the future, by the looks of you. Absolutely.
Oh, is this time trap? Starfleet has very strict. I mean, it's the first thing they teach you in the academy.
Look, sir, colleague, I don't know, but we don't have time for that. I am the sole survivor on a shuttle that has been in this Mobius strip cut up and put back together randomly for what seems like an eternity. And you are the first good people I have seen in a very long time. We need to get the hell out of here.
What do you mean, good people?
And his face kind of darkens a little bit as he kind of looks down and searches around. Look, it just, okay, it's like, I don't know. Minutes just seem like hours, days seem like seconds. This place is just unimaginable. And before you arrived, that was somehow before I arrived, I don't know, it's just...
Okay. Let's
But we
start.
we need to work together.
Oh, sure. Let's just start. What star date do you think it is?
I don't know, like a normal one with 4 digits, 2 something
Yeah,
something.
is it basically
5.
Future, past? How far?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Right. Okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. We will. Harvey to Burrell.
Yep. Burrell? Yeah? What's wrong? What's the... Harvey, why's your voice 3 octaves higher than usual?
We have a visitor. I'm bringing him up now.
What do you mean a visitor? Burrell's already, like, instinctively... She always has a dick tag on her, always. What do you mean?
Do you have a name?
Lieutenant Commander Valret.
We've got Lieutenant Commander Valret down here at Starfleet, I think. I think it'll be easier if he explained everything. We'll be up shortly.
Okay.
And he takes off the thing. Well, Lieutenant Commander, welcome to the Gift Targ.
The gift. The gift. What?
It's a freighter.
Yeah.
Targ.
And he's like, yeah, you're trying to explain that as you kind of
Yeah.
take the steps up into the bridge
Yeah, yeah,
area.
yeah.
And then, like, there's that moment of shock on his face as he sees Burrell, and he's like, whoa! Okay, yeah, future Klingon vibes. Okay, great. Wow.
Oh, right. I forgot my
Grumpy
history.
face immediately.
Yeah, you should have warned me. It's
Sorry.
a Klingon ship?
It's actually my ship. Hi.
Oh, hi.
Civilian ship.
Oh,
They're fixing it up for me.
okay.
It's a pet project.
Man, I thought you were Starfleet.
I mean,
Those two are.
and
Oh,
the chief is.
Technically.
well, good. I thought he's talking to Harvey. I think you had a look about you. You know, you're good and busy. You know, and you fix the ship up really good. Wait, has that happened yet? I don't remember.
I hope so. Well, I fixed the breaches. That's.
Yeah, no, I wasn't talking about that. It's, you know, it's like paving cracks. You know.
Oh, I did a good job.
Look, when you've had to extend a shuttle's life support systems for eternity, come talk to me.
I mean, good point. Yeah, I don't envy that position. So you say that Chief, I think this is more your remit. I'm gonna go check on the compensator. And try and-
What? No, yeah,
You're
I'm not
captain
staying.
of this
I'm
vessel.
staying with her.
Hey,
What does that mean?
Hey,
Well, I don't know.
look,
Yeah, that's.
Hey, look, do you guys still have a neutral zone or what?
I mean, there's the whole Kittimer Accords thing happening.
The what?
Like,
Oh,
When are you from?
I think we're kind of Starfleet. There are rules.
I don't give a fuck about the rules. What? So what? We're pally with the Klingons now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yep.
Oh, okay.
Burrell's just staring at him, giving him like the squintiest of eyes.
Pretty much.
Like,
Pretty much
Look.
been since.
I've been wondering if I have been alive or real for a good insert number of years here. Look, I'm just happy to be back on board a ship. Look, and we've got to work a way out, okay?
Harvey pokes his shoulder. You're real.
Yeah, that's just what a hallucination would say.
Yes.
Well, if we can't convince you that we're real and you can't convince you that you're real, you might as well do the work anyways and see what happens. What's the harm in trying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's not the first time you said that to me.
Okay, so how about this? Eka, you're very good with people. How would you like to talk to the Lieutenant Commander and I'll fix the...
tell you what, give me a system to get my elbows in before I
Let's
get
see.
my elbows
judging
in
by the
him.
uniform.
Whoa,
I'm
okay, I
thinking
thought we were pally.
mid-
I thought we were pally.
No, we're good. We're good. I'm thinking like judging by the uniform, what we're dealing with like mid 22nd century kind of deal.
What is that, Earth times? Yeah, I guess.
Well,
What,
I couldn't tell you.
What ship did the shuttle come from?
Oh, I'm the chief engineer aboard the Lexington. Or it was. I
There's.
guess. Yeah, no, I was. Fuck. What about
Furiously checking notes.
Hey, wasn't the Lexington that ship that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what? What do you know?
We don't. That's the problem.
Redacted.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. They blew her up.
But who did?
Ooh.
I don't know. Some other Connie class warped into the system. Just
So sorry, did you... Wait, sorry. Did you suggest that a Federation starship opened fired and destroyed another Federation starship?
oh, dude, I'm sorry. All the protocols. Yeah, I'm sure some Admiral Strawman comes in and is like, it's all admirals. It's always admirals all the way down. Even Stoker was a nut job.
Yeah, you got that right.
Right.
Can we just focus on getting out of here? I don't even care.
Yeah, I'm gonna
if
do
it's
that. I'm gonna
25, whatever this is, but like I just need to get the hell out of this place.
We'll get you out. We'll get you out.
We'll get you out and we'll get you to Narendra.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Isn't that
Station.
on, like, Narendra
Not the
station?
planet, the station. There's a station.
At Narendra? Isn't that on like the Romulan border with the Klingons? This is so confusing. Okay, enough future things. What do we need to do? Because I just need to I need
You're
to
an
get
engineer,
my
right?
elbows in things too.
All right. Harvey, you've got a better idea than anybody what needs to be fixed around these parts.
Right.
Yeah, you
okay.
built that compensator. That's what got us into this trouble.
I'll work on the compensator with Lieutenant Commander. I think his expertise might help.
Mhm.
What needs to be doing? If Chief, if you could concentrate on the sensors with Eka, it'd be really handy for us to not only be able to know exactly what's happening around us and internally, but when we actually do leave, we can see where we're going. I think that would be...
Enough.
I do know how sensors work. All right.
Yeah.
And she goes under a panel.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, Lieutenant Commander, if you want to come have a look at the engines with me,
Yeah. Sure.
and he's gonna essentially go to the engine and show him like the compensator that's like back together, and he's gonna explain, like its path, Dirgdew. Does he know of the Dirgdew?
No, the foggiest.
Alien technology into
Right.
everything that have been in the Expanse all their life.
Right.
And I kind of merged it with Starfleet technology to try and make a compensator to negate the washboard effects of the Expanse, which is the space anomalies that you get that interfere with warp travel in the Expanse.
Always a great move. Use alien tech, combine it with Starfleet tech. Never goes wrong.
It's how you learn. It's how you kind of...
Okay, no, it's fine. We've done this before. Okay, come on. We can do it again. We just need to...
So did we fix it
You
last
need to
time?
start over there, and I just need to start with the technobabble here. I just need to start with the induction coupling. Okay.
Okay, sure. I'll go do what I'm supposed to do. And he'll start working on it. And
Cool.
he'll...
All right.
How many times have we done this?
Too many. You hear him like echo through
And we
the...
never get out?
Haven't got out yet.
Right, okay.
Look, just concentrate on the polarizing coupling, okay? And then I'll get the induction couplings figured out. All right?
Okay,
Just
well, yeah,
concentrate
okay.
on that. We don't always have all the time ever. Okay, so Tom, you need to roll your engineering task for me.
Yeah.
Control, daring, reason, depending on how you want to
I'll
approach the problem.
do control,
Control.
engineering. I've got to focus in multiple things: freighters, warp
Yep.
field dynamics.
Let's assume you just have your focus on now.
Yeah. I'm gonna totally take another dice. Any difficulty? Do we have a are you gonna tell me the difficulty? Or is it...
You are trying to get the engines back up and running?
I am trying
right?
to. No, I'm basically looking at the compensator to see what the hell went wrong.
Oh, yeah, okay. It's been a good amount of time now as well. Power is only at 1 as the engines have been draining of power.
Okay.
So yeah, Burrell, Eka back up on the bridge. You can see that things are beginning to start to power down. Consoles are going dark. The engines don't have a lot of juice left in them. All right, so you're looking at a compensator. That's all
Yeah,
good.
that thing's draining us or keeping us alive.
It's the engines being disabled that have, or engines that have been damaged. That is the issue. Okay, if you want to look into the compensator, I think it's just difficulty 1
Brilliant. Okay.
to get a bit of insight into what is going
I'm
wrong
still
with
gonna. I'm still gonna get the extra dice with the momentum.
it? Sure thing.
I'm gonna go for it. Yep.
4 successes. Bit excessive, isn't it? Beautiful though, with 4 successes. Let's max up that momentum pool again. And you take a look into the compensator itself. It seems like the compensator was kind of working fine based on your calculations. And kind of you go through some of the diagnostics, you go through some of the kind of logs of what happened, maybe interface with the computer as well, just to check out some of the kind of flight logs and stuff. But it seems that there was some kind of reaction between some spatial anomalous something to do with the washboard itself and how that interacted with your compensator, and that has essentially made you like slip into this, as Eka put it, this kind of like rift, or this wherever you are. And what's his name again? Valret was going to assist you, but as you look into that, as you manage to get some idea of what's going on, you hear him scream, "No, no, not yet, not yet!" And as you look round, it's like his light, like he is being like extended, like, you know, that kind of weird blurring that you can see in like movies and stuff. So he's like flickering and blurring out, and then you kind of look down just to kind of take a few steps down off the thing that you're working on to try and get to him, turn back around, and he's gone.
Oh. Harvey to Burrell or Eka.
Yeah, what's up?
We've lost the lieutenant commander. He's disappeared. Have you got the census up yet?
No, have I?
Let's work on it.
Slapping consoles.
You're probably hot wiring cables. That's how I can imagine in this situation
Yeah.
where I was trying to fix the sensors. Okay,
Everything
let me
can
check
be fixed with a
the.
hammer.
Yeah. Let me
That
check.
should be a value, honestly.
It should. Let me check the breaches thingy. Okay, sensors disabled. This is going to be difficulty 4. Thankfully, you are maxed out on momentum, and Eka is there to help you.
Well, I think I will buy. 2 die would cost how much, man?
3.
3.
3. Do you want to do it? Just get our senses back up. All right, let's do it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Would you consider your determination at this point? How important do you think this is for you?
I think it's pretty important. Oh, engines might be more important though.
They might be importanter. Yeah.
Importanter, yeah.
Importanter.
Some may say importanter. Okay, I feel like with 4 die and an assist from Eka, we could probably do it, right? It's difficulty what? 4,
That's
did
good
you
enough
say?
for me.
I don't know. Do you feel Anita? You feel like
I think that with 4 die and an assist, that's 5 total.
I have a focus in ship operations. Does that apply here?
I'll let it apply.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank God. Yes.
Starship operations.
Okay.
All right. Deep breaths.
5
1 from Eka.
successes. Which means that your sensors are no longer disabled. As you get the readings back up online, the sensors are flooded with information, and none of it makes any sense whatsoever. So you're looking through the telemetry, it's like reading a book of random words. It's just, you know, you can pick up tiny bits and you know what all the words mean, but they're just not in any kind of order or any kind of correct order. Whatever you're in, this pocket, this fissure, this rift, like physics outside of a kind of bubble around the ship makes literally no sense.
Okay. Okay, reply to Harvey. Burrell to Harvey.
Yeah.
Okay, we have sensors. They are completely scrambled. Nothing makes sense here.
Okay. Could you scan the ship for Andorian DNA or anything like that
Right?
within the anomaly?
You got it?
Absolutely. Roll me a sensor sweep then. This is going to be, I think, I'm going to say control and sciences. Assisted
Control
by the
and-
ship's sensors and science. I think.
Uh-oh.
And this is going to be difficulty 2 because of the weirdness of the anomaly.
Okay. Yep. Oh, 2.
An assist from the ship as well.
Certainly, I can roll for the gift targ
Those
with the sensors and engineering.
Science. I
Sensors
think.
and science. All right, sounds good.
Let's do that.
Nothing from the ship, unfortunately.
Okay, but the 2 successes do grant you a little look into this bubble. So, like, there's like 3-dimensional regular space-time in like a little pocket around the ship. And you look for Andorian DNA. And you keep scanning for just a moment just to see if there's anything out there or if it's kind of coming back. And then, yeah, eventually you do manage to find just kind of a deck below the bridge, but let's say there's a hatch that you can get to pretty easily to get down there. Begins, first of all, to find like particulates of Andorian DNA. And then a little bit like a transporter beam slowly coalesces into one Andorian life form.
Okay. So Burrell
alright.
like sort of hangs down in there waiting for him to coalesce.
Yeah, we have had a
It's
little bit of
upside down.
time. We have had a little bit of time here, so I'm gonna make some of those rolls again. Harvey, you need to take 2 stress for me.
Okay.
Oof, Burrell, you need to take 4 stress for me.
I'd rather not though.
Eka, you need to take 5 stress for me, which is an injury. You can avoid that injury now by spending 2 momentum.
Oh yeah.
Or you
Or
can
do I
suffer
wanna
it.
take it? Saucy.
You're gonna
Or you
Or do I just
or you
want-
can make it saucy. You can suffer it, and you can't really take any actions now at this point. But the nature of the injury, based on the mission, it's not going to like knock you out.
Do you want to live for the drama?
I live for the drama. I think I'm going to take that injury.
Okay. So Burrell, you just notice Eka's nose bleeding down their face,
Are
Huh.
you good?
and Eka, you seem kind of fuzzy. Everything's a little bit out of focus, just for a moment.
I'm okay. There's 2 of you, though.
Whoa, okay, so Burrell like puts Eka in a chair. Don't move. Okay, you stay put.
And
Tastes
the
like pennies.
ship is going to get hit with 3 stress. So the stress comes off the shields. So we'll reduce that down to there. So shields are now at about 70%. But Burrell, you are at the sensors. If you wanted to, you got some momentum there. If you want to ask me a question about what's happening, I could gladly answer.
Okay. Gang, we got any input?
Something.
How big is the anomaly? Like, is it just
Like, how
a
deep are we in it?
Yeah, how deep? How much engine bay are we going to need to smash through this thing? Like, how far do we have to go? I mean, is it just around the freighter, or?
Yeah, so based on your assumptions and your telemetry, Folks, what kind of focuses do you have in terms of like space, anomalies, physics, that kind of thing?
I have warp field dynamics. That's about it.
The bubble around you is about the size of a warp field.
Okay.
It's about the size of a warp bubble, and that is not very big. You could do an EVA on the hull, and that is about it.
Yeah, okay. So
but kind of everything that the sensors is telling you, and that you kind of know and you'll pick up from your Starfleet training or your experience in space, is that you can't measure this place by how big it is. Because it is infinite, and yet it occupies no space. There is no 3 dimensions here. It is just, you are in this, like, crassly, it's like another dimension.
Okay.
Eka has a physics focus currently from Tava.
Oh yeah,
from Tava Eka.
Yeah. If you wanted to spend another momentum, I'd answer a question from them.
I have the operations manager focus, so technically our question, the first one we got was free because I succeeded a census task.
Oh, all right. Well, ask away. Ask away. Ask another question.
So yeah, we can have Eka's question. It costs the momentum because we've got our free question done.
Okay. Now I'm just trying to think of like the question to ask.
I often find the most simple questions are the best.
What's our best way out of here?
Engines back up on the same way you went out, essentially. Trying to use the compensator to reverse the effect.
We need to reverse engineer what got us into this mess in the first place. The Washboard Compensator brought us into here. It's probably our best bet at getting out of here. But with the way that our power is currently draining and fluctuating, we need to get power back or else we're going to start losing more systems. Those shields are really the only thing that's holding us in place right now.
Okay, I'm on it.
Burrell's gonna grab like a first aid kit and just put it in Eka's lap and be like, I gotta go. And she runs down to the engines.
Just grab some gauze and just start sopping up the bleeding nose.
And Valret comes up from the hatch below and kind of pulls himself up and looks over at you, Eka, and he's like, oh no.
I'll be fine. Don't worry about it. And if not me, someone else will be fine.
You might be for a little while, but, you know, these dimensional bubbles, and generated by the warp field thing, you know, they're a little framework with which our 3 dimensions can work and can exist, but they do not filter out that background EM field signature stuff that I detected coming through the bubble from outside.
So we're probably, it would be like a viewport into, say, like a 4th dimension kind of deal.
And there's a bunch of electromagnetic radiation just getting through sometimes.
Yeah, radiation, that'll take care of you pretty quick.
I had an ensign kind of...
you had an ensign?
Take the path you're headed on right now.
Yeah. Well.
So we got to get out of here pretty quick.
Yeah. They went to go restore power, so if you want to help out Harv and Burrell.
That's the best idea. I gotta be honest.
I'm gonna log these sensor anomalies, because Starfleet likes those things, I hear, and that's probably pretty valuable.
Yeah. Take a look. So he joins you, Burrell and Harvey, down in the engine room, in the engineering room, basically, in order to take a look at this. And he's a little bit quieter, a little bit less belligerent than he was when he first joined. Kind of a little bit sad. All right, why do you need me?
We're gonna get the engines back online.
Well,
Burrell is like a gesture of like, oh, I've forgotten this past insult. She hands him a tool. And she's like, shows him where she wants him.
Yeah.
Well, lucky for you, you got one of the best engineers in the fleet. Threw out the handbook and wrote my own. Apart from
Burrell
this
looks at Harvey and says, don't get any
ridiculousness.
ideas.
I mean, I think he's a few decades out technology-wise as well, so...
Hey, this still looks like the same piece of Rigelian crap they're flying around in my time.
Actually, it probably is.
Oh yeah, I recognize that harmonic manifold.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, I'm kidding. I don't know the ship at all.
I think over Cobbs you might hear, "Are you bad-mouthing my ship?"
Die quietly.
I refuse. Gonna be as
Alright.
annoying as possible.
Let's
And
just...
then the next one's gonna be as annoying as possible.
Alright, let's just get in on this.
Let's get
Engines,
these
right?
engines back.
Yeah. They've been damaged, so this is going to be difficulty 3.
Okay. So, I'm going to buy a dice,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to have Burrell and the engineer help assist.
Mhm.
Can only one person assist, or can you have multiple people?
It's at my discretion. The
Okay.
rule of thumb is usually just one, but you're working as a team in this situation.
Yes.
That's totally fine. He's going to use his control and engineering. Yeah, so this is an engineering task. Pick the attribute that fits how you're approaching the problem. He's got warp propulsion and theoretical physics as
Wow.
focuses, so we're going to apply those to this. No complication range increase, we're all good, so that you're going to get an assist of 1. There you go.
I'm going to assist. Oh, loop.
Harvey, you just need to
Nice.
get 1 success. Don't fail us now. 3! Brilliant. So we got 2 more momentum there from that. And the engines are back up and running. Now, you currently have 1 power, full engines. The structures have been repaired, but the communications from the ship are still down.
That's fine. I'm going to go to, what's his name? Varak?
Valret.
Valret. And he's going to go to Valret. Have we ever flown out of here? Has this happened before?
I mean, it's not really about flying. Closest. It's so boggy. Closest we ever got. Put it in reverse or something? I don't know. I think we reversed the polarity of something. Maybe mollified the resonations of the antimatter influx from the compensator.
Okay, so reverse what the compensator is doing currently at this moment.
Yeah. Burrell, he just like a little bit blue blood just like drains out of his ears just slightly as he tries to think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't
We need
know.
to do this quick.
I don't know when you're going to disappear again.
I hope it's not soon.
No, so I want to try something to avoid that.
Oh.
I want to put you into the transporter buffer.
Oh, yeah, the old sky maneuver, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, it'll prevent you. Maybe it'll prevent you from disappearing. I mean, you're going to disappear, but you won't disappear. You know what I mean?
I think you might need me. I look like... I mean, I was a chief engineer aboard the Lexington. I'm probably the best engineer.
Maybe, but you're no
Wait,
good if
hang
you
on.
disappear.
You're Starfleet, right?
Yes,
What rank are you?
Lieutenant Junior Grade.
Okay, so I'm a Lieutenant Commander. Going to take control of the situation.
It's still my ship!
I mean, if that's all right with you.
I mean, technically speaking, the chief is in charge, right?
Chief gets outranked by commissioned officers.
Non-coms. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to
Make it so or whatever.
Eka, as you say that, I'm going to spend 3 more threat here.
Oh, stop.
Love to. Love this.
And you got that kind of like almost like fainting feeling where you just kind of like dip and then you kind of just about come back up, just as you said, that kind of make it so. And you look about you and it's bright light right now, and you seem to be on an M-class planet.
Oh, no.
Blue-hued sky, bright sunshine. You look over the kind of rocky alien landscape, and just over that horizon, you see just so many, as far as you can see, huge, megalithic structures. These arching towers that seem to dot the landscape and then be supported by other of those similar structures down around where you've kind of been sitting, where you've been laying, and you can see this beautiful kind of sandstone that's been like expertly laid and carved, and seems to have these sort of like blue veins of electricity like running through them, and you can see, it's almost like you can see the whenever neurons are pictured in the brain, you see those little electronic little beats going, and you can see those running across the blue veins. They've got that kind of angular look to them, but they look vein-like. Many small ones, and there's a couple of thick ones nearby you. And these structures around you, seemingly you're on one as well. You seem to be sitting on one. You look up and this tower extends far into the clouds, and you look over at the horizon and you can see even further than you think in terms of a standard planet, maybe 3-4 miles. So, a few kilometers away, you can still see more of these megalithic structures over in the distance. And they all carry that look that Susie's clocked, of those like Tilakau like artifacts and like that ancient kind of look.
Oh, is this like with the holodeck again? Eka to Burrell? Harvey?
You guys don't hear anything. But Eka, you, as you look up, probably about 20 kilometers away from the sun, you can see suspended in a kind of orange tractor beam, kind of stasis looking kind of field, a Klingon bird of prey. It's like an older model as well. One of the kind of maybe slightly larger ones. And then off far into the distance, up into the atmosphere, but still held seemingly in one of those kind of orange tractor beams, you also see a Constitution class vessel. Just the tiny silhouette of it. They seem to be being contained from beams of energy that are emanating from 2 separate of these, huge structures.
Huh. Do I see anyone around?
You don't see anyone.
There's no, panels or anything like that.
The only kinds of panels there are these, veins in the floor. There's these blue veins in the walls. They don't make any sense to you, but they could be a control panel, but they could also be, EPS conduits.
I'm just gonna touch it. See if I can feel the energy.
There is almost a kind of static feeling to your fingers when you put them in. And you get that sense that they are interacting with it, but it's just you can't make much sense of it. if you wanted to try and operate them in some way, I'd let you test for it.
Sure. Reverse engineering, does that apply as a focus?
What else?
Just trying to figure out how this works.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe.
I've got the physics focus from Tava, Tava Eka. And I mean, other than like, this is all merchant stuff, interplanetary trade negotiations, black market dealings, velocity.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm really good at velocity.
But no, the reverse engineering is pretty cool, actually. So yeah, you can apply that to focus for sure. And this is going to be like difficulty 4 to figure out.
Okay. I'd like to call upon a value spent upon determination.
Yeah.
I'm going to use the best host money can buy.
Okay.
Come on. One of us Ekka's got to figure this out. One of us has this, I'm sure.
Right. I love that. All right. Smart. Yeah, mark that on your log as well. And then, yeah. So
And
this is
then
going to be like control, insight, I think one of those two. Or reason as well.
Engineering?
Engineering, I think.
All right.
So you want to add 2 successes, basically, up front?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I'll spend a momentum for an extra die as well, please.
All right. So that is the 4th die in the pool. So that will be 2 momentum for that. So go to 3.
Sounds good. All right, let's.
6 successes. This is 2 more than you needed, giving you that momentum back. And you managed to kind of regulate the energy fields circling your fingers. You get a sense, it's kind of a rush and a sense of what you're controlling there. And as you kind of look up at the ships, focus up at the ships, you see the beam stop on the Lexington, on the Constitution class vessel up above you, and it manages to turn and enter the upper atmosphere and then leave your sight.
Huh.
Rel and Harvey, you're heading back up to the bridge. And,
yeah. We got to reverse, the do-da with the compensator.
Yeah.
Reverse whatever happened. Get us out.
And Valret says, so are you out in this, well, in the sector I was in? Are you out here, or is this whole interdimensional no space situation just mean that you're like right across the other side of the quadrant? I didn't think I'd see any other Starfleet after what happened.
Well, we were in the whatever system you said we went to. I can't remember the exact system.
Oh yeah. The Epsilon station.
In the Epsilon station in the blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Yeah, whether Lexington disappeared is somewhere completely different.
It's the.
So nowhere near. So you're nowhere near.
Yeah, how did you end up over here?
So you're nowhere near the Theta Rho system.
Can we have a look to see maybe where that is and the whole map kind of thing?
Absolutely, yeah. You can check, and Theta Rho is a registered system, and it's been charted by probes. It's in the Shackleton Expanse. It's not wholly that far away from the Bacchus system, in the same little sector.
So I'm going to show him the map and show him exactly where that system is and where we are. And
so They quarantined the Bacchus system,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Also,
Why?
can
What did you find there?
I mean, there's nothing left there now. The system, collapsed in on itself. All the planets. It's probably
Why?
just dust and asteroids now.
And
And those
something
things.
about that's what the artifact was doing, right? Like it was making if that whole star thing disappeared.
What artifact? What are you talking about? Have you come across more of those things?
Things? Things. Describe them.
Oh, huge megalithic structures, visible from space, all over the planet. Looked like... Oh, in fact, we got some data from the surface. There were, records. You had to do these weird panels, but, they gave you records, and, I mean, we saw how they were, shaping moons with these, huge tractor beam technology. Those structures, my chief science officer, I don't even know if she's alive or dead, but so she surmised that, they brought bits of the moon and, done the transporter stuff to them and shaped them into those buildings.
Did they look like obelisks with veins through them?
Yeah, there were quite a few obelisk things. We never really quite got to the bottom of it. We were looking for some officers who'd stolen a shuttle and taken it to Bacchus 4, and I mean, we all figured it out. They seemed to be under some kind of psychic influence or something. And the Lexington got held by some beam in the lower atmosphere of the planet, but somehow we managed to escape. I don't even quite know how that happened. But we managed to rescue a captured bird of prey, held by it as well. But then once it was kind of tough. The captain had to kind of iron everything out later. But yeah, all the moons, planets, something activated, and they all just collapsed in on themselves. I guess it was some kind of failsafe. I mean, the kind of ancient technology we're talking about, maybe it's some kind of civilization that literally didn't want to leave a trace if they, we started messing with stuff. But it went pretty south when we, Admiral Stoker got us to go to this Theta Road 2. We turned up at this moon, thought there was nothing there. And of course, gets hit by a solar flare and suddenly all the lights come on, Anyway, the Admiral seemed to be influenced as well. So she's all up inside some machinery, turns into this giant octopus machine thing, and she's stuck herself into it, all sorts of stuff, Oh my, just...
Burrell is her eyes are she's looking at Harvey
I think she said she interfaced with the machine, and she said that it had some kind of consciousness in it. Consciousnesses in it. She wasn't sure. But she thought there were people in there, or somebody in there. And it was one of quite a few dotted throughout the quadrant. That's what she said. But we managed to stop it from broadcasting whatever weird signal it was broadcasting, and then that's when the other Constitution class warped into the system. Destroyed the Lexington. Left us for dead with a half-broken shuttle in space, thinking we wouldn't limp very far. And then,
You made it here. Do you know what that other ship was? Its designation?
Didn't identify itself. Didn't even identify itself.
Seems like history's repeating itself somewhat.
Why's that?
We found some of those strange stone objects. Starfleet acting really cagey about it.
Smells like a cover-up to me.
I just personally feel quite vindicated. And Burrell just takes a step back from it, being like, I knew that Admiral was a sack of shit. Anyway, let's get out of here, shall we?
Right, is Eka okay?
Yeah, as you walk back up
Now
to the
we're back
bridge,
up.
Eka is...
They are okay,
Eka's
right?
okay. They're just there.
That's okay, good.
They're sat slumped but conscious
Okay.
up against one of the consoles.
Okay, so now we got everything.
I went somewhere real pretty.
Sure you did.
Hold on.
Okay.
What? Hang on.
There
And
is-
Burrell.
They'll be fine. We just got to get out of here.
There was
Yeah,
a
you
planet, and I saved a starship.
I think whatever's happening might be affecting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's.
I'm going to pull out the little
they're
medical
not.
tricorder from the first aid kit, and I'm just going to...
Obelisks everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, you want to diagnose them a little bit. Yeah, I mean, you
Yeah.
know, they're suffering from like, you know, a bit of radiation to the brain,
Mm-hmm.
but
Okay.
recoverable if you can get back to the station.
We'll get back.
I touched the blue light, and it showed me the truth.
Okay, yeah, we definitely better get out of here before they go anywhere else and do any other things.
I'm gonna have a constant transporter lock on that dude. So if he starts to flicker, like as we go out, I'm transporting him straight into the buffer.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Well, we'll just watch for complications. We'll see if that
Okay.
happens. All right, but
Let's get the hell out of here.
we'll come to getting the hell out of here. All right. So Harvey, what is the game plan?
The game plan
Tell
is
us.
to essentially reverse what the compensator was doing that got us here in the first place.
Sure.
And then power up the engines and fly. And
Cool.
hope that gets us out.
Yeah. All right. No problem.
I like the smirk. The smirk.
So obviously this is going to be engineering for you, I think.
Yeah.
I think we're going to need some kind of pilot on con. And you can direct Valret however you would like him to help you.
I would like him to assist me because he's done
Cool.
this before.
Yeah, with engineering.
Yes, please.
He is going to roll control, I think, because he's trying to maybe either repeat or trying to be very careful about what he's doing. I would say that yours is either daring or reason.
Let's go daring, just for a little.
Okay.
Ooh.
I mean, it
Very
doesn't
cool.
really. They're both the same for me, but daring seems a bit more.
Okay, have a
go
look,
now.
guys, and talk me through, are there any talent options we might be missing? Are there any determination spends you want to do now?
I've got a determination
You do?
that I can spend.
Yeah, this is it. This is the one.
Yeah, I'll use my determination for an auto for 2 auto
Cool.
successes.
So that's your third die in the pool, no problem. And that
Yeah.
is 2 successes already, having rolled a 1. This is going to be assisted by the ship actually as well, so Anita, you can roll for this, and this will be engines. Yep. And I'm going to make it
engineering?
I'm going to make it science this time around because it's kind of funky, right?
Okay.
It just means the ship itself is a little bit less prepared for it, how it all works. Okay. It's given us a success to help out on there already. And okay, Harvey. Let's all make this like difficulty 5, right? I'll spend my threat. I'll get rid of that.
Yeah.
Difficulty 5. We're in the big leagues now, folks.
Yeah. This is TPK time.
Yeah.
I will think with it.
TPK. TPK.
Missing in action. I'm afraid that Valret's not going to give you anything.
You best engineer in my ass.
he's brash and is literally in his character. He's brash and arrogant. So yeah, nothing from him. The ship has given us a success.
So
you've got 2 already. We just
I've
need
got 2.
3 more. So Burrell, give us that con. What are you doing? Daring?
Yeah, daring con. I would like to invoke my value of spit and tape because this thing is like barely held together with my like jury rigged stuff. So I'm like pushing a wire with my foot while I'm like.
Let's give you that automatic 1 for 2 successes.
Yeah. So am I rolling 1 or 2 here? I'm an assist, right? 1.
Yeah. So you've literally, let's say you've rolled that die and you've rolled a 1 basically to give you the 2 successes.
Yeah.
The ship's giving you a 3rd. So Harvey, you've got 5 momentum. Any more? How guaranteed do you want to make this?
I'm gonna buy 2 extra dice for 3 momentum.
Yeah, so it'd be your 4th and your 5th dice, so you're actually going to bring that down to 0 perfectly.
Yeah,
somehow.
sure, why not?
So
why not?
That all levels out lovely for the end of the session.
Okay. Daring, engineering.
So roll me those
focus,
4 dice, and we're going to add 2
dice.
successes to it. We've already got 3 so far. 4,
Okay.
5, 6.
6.
So that warp flare effect begins again as the ship doesn't go anywhere. The warp bubble itself is that 3-dimensional space that you've got, and it's the only space it seems. As you do start to do that, though, all of you feel and can see on each other that like blurring effect, that shearing of like bits of you start to kind of trail backwards. For Eka, it's just a wild ride on some drugs.
Here
you've probably
we
taken at some point in your life. And as you lot shear and tear out of the anomaly, there is a sonic boom of that warp bubble collapsing out. Let's see, there's warp flash. And you find yourself in open space. And taking a quick look at the sensor readings, you can see you're not far from Epsilon Station. And you're back in the Beta Quadrant.
Is Thingy with us?
He is not.
Fuck!
How does time work, Harvey? And how does interdimensional anomalies work?
Harvey doesn't think like that. He's just thinking he's trying to save a life. And he's going to furiously look through the transporter logs to see if there's anything in the buffer.
Nothing in the buffer.
He was always here and he was never here. It's a causality loop.
Yeah.
Well.
Physics is a cruel mistress.
So, head back home?
Maybe we should stop at Epsilon and get Eka some treatment. They'll probably have a med bay there.
Oh, yeah. Good idea. I'll head course to Epsilon Station just to get some, to get treatment.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Yeah.
And that is where I think the credits roll, and that's where I think we'll finish the episode.
Could I do one little
Absolutely.
scene? So there's a scene where they eventually kind of head back to Naranda Station and everything like that. And Harvey will he'll detach the compensator. He needs more work on it.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna, that's something for the Dirg do later to exchange information. And he will kind of look at the ship and before he leaves, he looks at the transporter buffer. And he gets up and he heads to the what is it? Hydroponics.
Mm-hmm.
And in there, he kind of starts looking around for different flowers and stuff like that. And he kind of just takes them as a bunch together. Still bogging, still kind of like sweating and stuff like that. and he heads down to medical, and he goes into where hopefully Dr. Chella is, and he'll approach her, and he's very awkward. He's kind of like all awkward, and he goes to Dr. Can I have a moment?
Yeah.
Not too long ago, we had a cultural difference. It was a bit confusing. It was a bit,
Embarrassing.
embarrassing's the word, yeah. So I think it's only right that I share some human Earth culture with you as an exchange. With humans, and notably on Earth, when they find someone that they want to get to know better, get to know a lot better, they give a gift. And sometimes it could be wine, some kind of chocolate or something, and sometimes it can be, and he brings out this bouquet of flowers. Sometimes it can be flowers. And you'll notice the bouquet of flowers, essentially it's an array of it's like a rainbow of colors, and you can see he's essentially gone from cold, warm to warm. But in addition to earth flowers, he's also put in some Rysian flowers as well, as a kind of mix. And you'll notice that there's a few little flowers that are out of sequence that should be warm, but are now kind of like a lightish blue. And you would know, I'm making this up by the way, you would know there's a Rysian flower that will adapt and change to the current emotions of the people around. And you'll know that as where it would be in the actual thing, it would have been a lot warmer color, which is maybe like excitement or passion. Now it's a lot cooler. That is like nerves. You can tell that is shown very nervous and thing. And it looks a bit odd. That was the thing. And he hands it over to, so I'd like to give these to you. And maybe sometime we could, you're interested in botany, and maybe you could show me some Rysian botany sometime. And
I'd love to.
Really?
Did you actually know that in early Earth culture, they actually used flowers to convey different emotions, intent?
Oh,
like a code.
Oh, no, I just thought they kind of looked pretty.
They do.
Oh.
Thank you. And if you're asking me out on a date, the answer is yes.
Great. Brilliant. I'll
Friday, I get off my shift at 1800 hours.
Right. I'll be there. Great. And he kind of he smiles and, well, have a good shift.
I will.
And he kind of leaves, and he's a little perkier than usual.
It only took being trapped in a spatial anomaly. Oh, guys. Gorgeous. All right, well, that's where we'll end our session today. Thank you, friends. Thank you very much for that. We have a plot drop on you. There you go. I wasn't going to let you get away with just a little test flight. It's all related.
It's all connected.
It's all connected. Beautiful. Alrighty then. So that only just leaves me to go around, check in everyone, say hi and bye, and where we can find you on the internet, kind of what you're up to, any shout outs you want to do, anything like that, and then I will shout about the winners of our Roll20 competition in chat as well. So yeah, Anita, where can we find you? What are you up to?
Hello, everybody. My name's Anita, otherwise known as Panita or Critical Misses. I'm a TTRPG streamer, graphic designer, producer, and cat mom of Upspace. You can find me here on Tuesdays. You can find me over on Critical Misses on Saturdays for Morning Ritual, which is our TTRPG talk show. Sundays, you can find me over on Indoor Adventures for our Apocalypse Keys game, where I play an angel of the Lord who is trying to stop the apocalypse and maybe potentially causing it. Who knows? Other than that, Critical Misses has GM calls open, so if you want to run a game on the channel, sign up. It's our pinned tweet on twitter.com/Critical Misses. That's it. That's all. That's me.
Love it. Thank you so much. And Tom?
Hi, I'm Hotflakes Tom. You can find me on Twitter and most social medias with Hotflakes Tom. I'm not really doing anything apart from this at the moment. Hopefully Thursday games on Follow Black Cats will be starting up again once we sort a few things out. Occasionally I'm going to be on Susanna Great's Twitch channel on Monday, sometimes when we play Phasmophobia, or any other time of the week if she just wants to play a game. Or if I want to play a game, actually, it's more a more recent thing. So that's me. And if you did, and the whole thing, if you did like me reading the personal log at the end, I think I do have a few audiobooky readings on my YouTube channel. There's not a huge amount on there, but there's a few on there. So all you have to do is go to YouTube, look for Hotflakes Tom, and it should be there.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. And Susie, what are you up to?
Hello. I am slowly getting back into the swing of streaming when I don't hurt myself by cleaning like I did yesterday. But I will be back tomorrow on stream, and I'll probably be playing Starfinder because it just came out. It's on Game Pass. And I want to zoom around space and shoot stuff and fly planes and have contraband in my ship. I mean, what? I'll be doing that, and then Baldur's Gate, as always. I'll be returning to Bobby's Gate, where I play as my little goblin monk, making terrible decisions and having a great time. That'll be on my channel, which is twitch.tv/Susanna Grace. And as for the rest of the internet, that's where you can find me. If a social media site exists, I'm probably on it as Susanna Grace. So if you want to follow me anywhere, follow me there.
Thank you very much. As for me, you can find me around the internet at RPG Webby, and you can see Modiphius around the internet pretty much as Modiphius everywhere. Modiphius.net, head over to our web store. You can grab Star Trek Adventures goodies. We've still got a good range of stuff for you, including this here campaign guide. We've also been playing with Roll20's module for Star Trek Adventures, which is the core rulebook neatly put into a Roll20 module for you with a compendium, searchable rules, and all of those kind of features. We're using a character sheet and all that kind of stuff. We are giving away some copies of that, which we've been doing during the stream. So well done to Old Man Geras, and I believe there was another winner up at the kind of towards the beginning of the stream. So well done to the two of you for winning. Get in touch with April in the chat, Sletto Assassin there. Thank you so much, Sergeant That. And she'll get you the codes that you need to get your copy. So yeah, we should be back next week with another episode of the Shackleton Expanse campaign. Before then, April will be back with more of our Fallout 2D20 stream on Mondays. So check us out on socials to get all the details behind those two games. And look out for more Twitch goodies from Modiphius this month, as well as ModCon is coming back soon. We'll have more details about that on socials and on our email campaigns. But until then, folks, until next week, live long and prosper. Make sure you get out of those spatial anomalies as quick as you possibly can. Farewell.